Ask the Messengers, the program that deals with substance abuse, real people telling real stories. Hosted by Pastor Lester Lewis, co-host Charlize Wilkerson and Leroy Carey. Produced by David Humphreys. Where there is addiction, there is a chance for recovery. We're trying to help save lives on Ask the Messengers.
Welcome to Ask the Messengers. I am Lester Lewis, your host. Today, Ask the Messengers travels to Fraser, Michigan, where we are going to spend time with the Live-Rite Structured Recovery Corp. And talk with CEO Brenda Mak. Also on today's show, street reporter Lashon Battle sits down with some of the Live-Rite staff and residents for a table talk about their addictions and recovery stories. Plus, real stories from real people. Brenda, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Listen, what is Live-Rite Structured Recovery Corp? Can you tell us about it?
Well, this is a recovery homes. We like to say that it's people going through some changes. And what we have is a structured format programs, and we help people overcome their addictions.
So now, how many houses do you have, and how many people do you service?
We have 8 houses. We have 2 female houses, 1 co-ed house that you obviously have to have clean time to be in. And the rest are men's houses. We serve 94 clients.
So now, what was the passion behind this? Because this is not just a regular recovery house. This seems like you got so much extra going on and exciting things. What is the passion behind that?
Well, I believe, I personally am in long-term recovery. I believe that you can recover, you can change, and sky's the limit. If you keep an addict that comes, or any person, any type of addiction that comes from treatment into a home that is structured and the programs keep them busy, it stops their mind from thinking about that disease they have. It keeps them involved, it keeps them occupied and learning something new. Some people really have never learned anything before. They never knew that they could, be in auto shop, change a tire. I mean, heck, I've never changed a tire. I don't want to either, but and the same with the yoga that helps you get in touch with your body, your new body. That you're not putting drugs into, or alcohol, or any type of addiction. Be it sex, money, gambling. So these things that keep them busy also keep me sane, because then I don't have as much drama to deal with, especially with women, all of them living in a house together. You have a lot of drama sometimes. So if I keep them busy enough, there's no excuse that I couldn't get to a meeting, because we have a lot of rules that you have to follow, and then we have jobs, employment for them. Every single house can have a job. That's the thing I'd like
for you to speak to next. Many of the residents who came through, they're employed. They work for you now. Why is it so important that you hire those who've gone through your program?
Well, for one, they know my rules, and they can show the next person, and because they can do it. It's so amazing how many people and how intelligent they are. And because of being on drugs or on the street or always in that type of family that, kind of kept them down, they have this new feeling about themselves that they can do it. And you can do it. It's so amazing. That some of the intelligence that comes from them, or the art, it's like, do you realize how smart you are? Do you realize how good you are at something? And they don't. And for them to come and get a job and work with me, that's great. Then they already know me, so they know that I'm going to yell about it anyway. But they help out so much, and it keeps them clean.
So I am the Marketing and Development Director, which means that any opportunity that we have to get our message out there, that's what I'm responsible for, and that's what I do. So establishing relationships with other local organizations like you guys, and then other things that we do. I plan events and meetings and keeping the website up to date. So really, I feel like in my day-to-day life, even when I'm not at work, like at all times, I feel like I represent Live-Rite.
Yes.
And I try my best to do that everywhere I go. And I just believe in it so much.
So now, is that your passion? Was that your field of work before you got into drugs? Was that what you did before? Or is that something you kind of picked up while you were here?
Well, it is because, so in my active addiction, and that's one thing that's been very important to me, and it's been important in my recovery as well, is education.
Okay.
So when I was using all through my 20s, I was still trying to go to school, and every semester I would start dropping classes, failing classes, because active addiction is so disabling.
Okay.
And so when I got clean, that was something that was very important to me, was to go back to school and get my bachelor's degree. So I'm graduating in April, and then also
great.
in the 5 years that I've been clean, I've also earned 3 associate's degrees. So school has been a huge part of my recovery, and that's something that I wanted to talk about, because I believe that recovery is all about personal development.
I got out of rehab, and I was wanting to change my life completely, and they say change people, places, and things, so I thought I would try a recovery house.
So when you say you got out of treatment, how long was your treatment process?
My treatment process was 30 days after I spent 90 days in jail.
And coming to Live-Rite, how has it changed your life?
Oh, it's changed my life dramatically. I came in here, no job. My family barely talked to me. Now I'm a manager where I work. My family loves me completely. They've seen the change that I've made. Came in with no car. Now I have a car. Getting ready to buy a house. Just things like that have really changed my life, and I love my life today.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
Changing an addict's life and providing support to the addict's family is the goal of the Live-Rite Structured Recovery Corp. Dialectical behavior therapy on Wednesdays, spiritual recovery and yoga classes on Thursdays, physical and nutritional education class on Fridays. Live-Rite also accepts donations of cars, trucks, boats, and campers in any condition. Again, for more information and a complete list of their events, go to their website at liveRiteStructuredCorp.com or call 586-217-5899. Life short, live right.
I got some Oxy after I hurt my neck. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
After receiving a delinquent property tax bill for the 2 lots connected to my home, I was concerned. I didn't even know that I had a past due bill. I went down to the Wayne County Treasurer's office, and the staff worked with me to keep my property out of foreclosure.
My property taxes became delinquent after I fell behind on my bills. Treasurer Sabri and his staff came to the town hall in my city and provided information about resources available to help me. At the meeting, I found out about payment plan options.
Let us help you. Our goal is 0 owner-occupied properties getting foreclosed and going to the auction. Come down to our office at 400 Monroe in downtown Detroit on the 5th floor. Call 313-224-5990 during our normal business hours from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and until 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. Or email textinfo@waynecounty.com for assistance. Take the first step. Contact our office today.
It worked for us.
Coming up on Ask the Messengers TV show.
It was hard for me because I thought that I had a lifestyle problem. I didn't understand that I had an actual disease or a medical condition.
The National Prescription Drug Takeback addresses a crucial public safety and public health issue. According to the 2016 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 6.2 million Americans misuse controlled prescription drugs. The study shows that a majority of abused prescription drugs were obtained from family and friends, often from the home medicine cabinet. The DEA's Takeback provides year-round drug disposal opportunities for Americans to prevent drug addiction and overdose deaths. Take a moment to find an authorized collector in your area today.
Hello. So everybody here is in recovery. I heard a lot about the Live-Rite program.
I've been 9 years with houses. about 2.5 years where we have a lot more programs. We've always had programs since I've opened, but now it's 2 and 3 a night where we're working with people.
And how did you come about this vision?
I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I raised 3 little boys and went to meetings and worked and went to school, so I know that sky's the limit. When you get clean and you make some changes in your life, it works. And that's what I try to pass on to my clients, tenants, and I'm a realtor, so I bought a house, put some women in it, bought another one to put the men in. About lost my mind the first 6 months. I thought, well, I'm in recovery and nobody's gonna pull a wool over my eyes or manipulate me. I was wrong. I was trained very well with some recovering addicts. But the passion was still there because I would still try to tell people, sky's the limit. You can do what you want. You can become who you want. Just because of your past, you're not scarred for the rest of your life.
What's your story?
So my name is Emma, and I was a client here years ago, and now I'm a staff member, and I've been in recovery for 5 years.
What are some of the obstacles you went through in this program?
And some of the obstacles, I would say that being unable to surrender in the beginning was a problem for me.
How did you get past that?
Well, I finally realized that I suffer from a disease and that I'm powerless over my addiction, which is one of the steps in the 12-step program. And it was hard for me because I thought that I had a lifestyle problem. I didn't understand that I had an actual disease or a medical condition, and that there's a whole explanation for it, like physiologically we're different. I finally realized it when I really hit bottom, because I had an overdose, I was incarcerated, and those are the things that made me finally understand that I had to surrender.
Everybody don't get it the first time.
Right.
Some people do, most people don't. We hear a lot of stories where people come in and out before they get it. How important is it to you to communicate with others, like a sponsor, network with the people in the house? How important is that?
Very important. Life happens. If you're having a bad day or something serious is going on, having people around you is the best thing you can have, just so you can talk to them. Because when you're by yourself and addict that alone is in bad company. Just having people around you that you can trust and get to know is a wonderful thing.
I know, being fresh out of treatment, in the beginning we get those thoughts of using. If you had a thought of using in the house with others, how would you go about bringing it to somebody?
There's quite a few things you can do. The thought doesn't last that long if you just give it time, and a lot of times it just goes away. If it doesn't, pick up a phone, call somebody, call your sponsor, call your friend in the program. Just don't sit there and fixate on it.
You might be new to this, fresh out of treatment, but you sure getting on, catching on quick. What about you? What's your story?
My story, as far as I came in here broken, and like he said, there's always somebody to talk to. I lived in one of Brenda's biggest houses where there was 22 other females, where I was able to talk to somebody if I needed to talk to somebody. And that's very important. Because if I'm having a bad day and you're having a good day, you can make my day good.
I like the way your setting is. It reminds me when I went through treatment through this program called New Life. They don't exist no more. But we was in the house and it was like about 30 girls. You got all these personalities running. How do you deal with that?
It's hard. It is. But, Live-Rite changed my life. And I'm so grateful for that. We've seen a lot of people come in and a lot of people have success rates. And I didn't think that it would be possible with my background, but now that everything that I'm involved in, anything is possible.
Right, absolutely. I remember being in treatment and they said, well, Sean, if you can't deal with what's going on in here, there's no way you're going to be able to deal with what's going on out there.
Correct. Right.
That was a challenge for me. And as you all, I had to find some acceptance. And what I found out is that acceptance leads to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
Absolutely.
Yep.
We got some stories. When I see y'all, I see a vision of hope. We're a vision of hope for a whole lot of people. I appreciate you for that vision and just doing the footwork to take the action and the impact on the lives that you are saving.
And you know, something I get that all the time, and I really don't know how to say, oh, you're welcome, or, you know, that touches me. Sometimes I just keep going because there's another one. Somebody else that needs help. You know, Roy and I were just in there talking. He used to manage my houses, and he was on top of it. You know, this one's not doing this. We need to get him to the meetings. He was driving people to the meetings, getting everybody out there. They had dinners together, you know, and that was a smaller scale house, you know, and Emma, I mean, to come back and she's like, I'm looking for a job, but my record's not gonna let me get, I'm like, perfect timing. You know, it's got a grant, I'm gonna hire you, you know, come here and work. And, you know, Nicole, I mean, went to drug court, she had to do sanctions, she had for being clean. She was clean and did these things, and that was the miracle. She managed my property. And it was so amazing to watch all these ladies, like you're talking, you had 30 women, you were in a house with 30, there's 24 here, and they would have movie night. And I'd see all these pictures like, oh my gosh, you know, and we have cameras everywhere. I mean, they would have blankets and pillows, and they were all in the living room, and anytime you're hungry, you know, you could always stop by at dinner time because there are some awesome cooks. A lot of them in the guy's house were some of the better cooks, you know. It's like, and you got hip to that, going, okay, yeah,
so
this is the time.
Your co-op house with the men and the women, how does that work? Are you in one of those?
When we moved north today.
It's not a co-ed.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's an all-men's house. But I did live in the co-ed house for about a year.
It's got to be tempting.
Tempting to what?
To interact with the females.
Well, at that time, I was with somebody, and we both lived there together, and did very well.
Some of the rules in the co-ed house, you have to be in my house for a long period of time. You have to have a car, a job, your sponsor, a home group, a position at a home group. You have to have a plan before you go in. If you're with somebody and you're both in a plan together, there's a relationship, I need them to write down their nights that they're supposed to be separate at different meetings. They have to write down who's going to leave if an argument occurs. You don't argue in the house. Somebody has to walk around the block, call your sponsor, do something. So I need their plans written out, separate plans. So, you know, then if I came to the house and they're both home on the couch and it's their, you know, their home group night, what are you doing home? You got to keep your recovery separate. You got to have a way out and learn how to communicate, and so that it doesn't affect other people in the house.
And it's extremely important that you don't sit at, if you are with somebody in recovery together, don't ever sit at the same table. It's just for the fact that you won't share honestly. You might have a problem with who you're with, and you want to talk to the guys about it, and you know, it's just important to keep it separate.
Thank you so much for your stories.
We'll be right back with more of Ask the Messengers.
Changing an addict's life and providing support to the addict's family is the goal of the Live-Rite Structured Recovery Corp. Dialectical behavior therapy on Wednesdays, spiritual recovery and yoga classes on Thursdays, physical and nutritional education class on Fridays. Live-Rite also accepts donations of cars, trucks, boats, and campers in any condition. Again, for more information and a complete list of their events, go to their website at liveRiteStructuredCorp.com or call 586-217-5899. Life short, live right.
Hi, I'm Ashley Greaser, the Office Manager at Premier Supportive Services. Here at Premier, we offer a variety of services that include residential service, 24-hour residential, attended care, semi-independent, as well as many other services. So if you know of anyone that has been involved in a car accident, we are located at 17555 James Cousin, Suite 2, or you can give us a call at 313-345-3668.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything. All I did was dance. I was being scouted for a scholarship. I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor. If making my detox public is gonna help somebody, I'm all for it. Is there any medicine that I can have right now? I'm cold sweating really bad. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Coming up on Ask the Messengers TV show.
Real people telling real stories.
Do you need a banner, brochure, or business cards? What about posters or funeral programs? No matter what your design and printing needs are, R&L Color Graphics can help. R&L Color Graphics has been serving the metropolitan area for more than 25 years and has also been honored to be the official printing partner for the Aretha Franklin Family Foundation. So if you're looking for an official Aretha Franklin funeral program, tribute item, or custom design job, give us a call at 313-345-3838 or visit us on the web at rnlcolor.com.
I'm now here with Chelsea from Live-Rite, and you guys know Chelsea is a great friend of the show. Chelsea, can you tell us about what your role here at Live-Rite is all about?
Sure. I actually have a very unique role here because I came in as a client.
Okay.
I had gotten arrested and spent some time in jail, and I wasn't allowed back where I had previously been living, so I got into Live-Rite, and after a couple of months, I was the assistant manager here at this very house, and then after that, I became the actual manager, and I ran the house for just under a year, and after that, Brenda offered me an opportunity, and I ran the whole program for just over a year.
Oh, wow. So now you got a great backstory, because,
yes.
Again, you came in, you went through a drug court and had to come here?
Yes, pretty much.
Wow.
Yep.
So when people ask, do drug courts work?
I would say they absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very helpful.
So now, what was your drug of choice when you were using?
Actually, it was crystal meth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, what age were you? How old were you when you started?
I didn't start until I was about 28. Okay. Actually, very late. Okay. And I knew immediately I had a problem.
Okay.
So I kind of got it under control. As soon as I lost a job and then I was moving around a lot, I knew what it meant and I knew I had to go to treatment.
Here's the next thing, and this is very easy for you.
Okay.
If someone is out there watching right now, going through what you may have gone through and looking for help, what would you say to them from your heart right now?
I would say if you really want to get help and you're struggling in active addiction, go through Hope Not Handcuffs. Get yourself into detox, get yourself into recovery. And then I recommend absolutely a 3-quarter house. If this is out of your area or you don't feel this way about this particular house, go to another one. Sober living will change your life. It teaches you how to live sober. Mm-hmm. Getting sober is not the hard part. It's not easy, but learning how to live a whole new life, that's where the struggle is. That's where people fail, and that's where we help.
Well, yoga is about healing, connecting the mind, the body, and the spirit. And so here at Live-Rite, they have a yoga program where we try to recenter ourselves and take ourselves out of our head and bring ourselves into our body. And for 1 hour, if you can transform yourself from all that activity that's going on in your head to coming in and looking inside yourself, feeling your body, doing something healthy and good, calming the mind, you can see the impermanence of how you can transform in just 60 minutes. Coming from, you know, all your thoughts whirling around to coming to a place where you're at peace and you're happy and you've released all that energy. And so when you're thinking about transformation, you think, oh, I can't do this. It's too hard. But then you've just changed yourself in 60 minutes.
Right.
Through moving your body, moving with other people, connecting with the community, and it just shows you that it's like, it's not that hard.
To look back where I was almost 2 years ago, hopeless, down and out, in a rehab, and couldn't pull myself out of a bottle, and to see the changes, I mean, it's all by the grace of God.
And I have a license today, but I was a blackout drinker towards the end of my career. You know, thank God I never got in an accident, never killed nobody, thank God, but you know, that was just a matter of time. And then I violated my probation on one of them, and I went to prison for 2 years. So when I was in prison, I started my recovery there.
Here's a question I know that everybody that's watching want to know. Did them tattoos hurt when you got them?
Yeah, they all hurt. Especially this one.
I noticed that you've got a scripture right above your eye there.
I do.
You're in
2
Christ.
Corinthians 5:17.
Your new creation. Yes.
New creation. It's a funny story real quick about that. I had posted on social media when I had celebrated, I believe it was 3 years clean, and somebody, a friend of mine, who I hadn't talked to, you know, in years, and everybody, you know, was posting, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. And this guy who I haven't seen since maybe high school, he didn't put anything. All he put was 2 Corinthians 5:17. That was all his comment was. Yeah. So I went and I looked it up, and it was just so fitting for everything that's been going on.
I'm the spirituality instructor here for Live-Rite. So we do a spirituality class once a week, Thursday night, 6 p.m. And we use the Recovery Bible and the 12 Steps to help people discover their spirituality or reconnect with their spirituality, and to connect that with the steps as well.
You got to find who's doing what you want to do, and click up with them and take some advice.
If you need to do the right thing, it would be come to Live-Rite and get your life restarted. It's a wonderful place, and it gives you so many resources to do the right thing. You know, get off the streets and come here, live with us.
We want to thank you for tuning in to Ask the Messenger, and our motto is that we're trying to help save lives. Thank you for tuning in to Ask the Messengers. Won't you send a generous donation to the information there on the screen? We would love to have you as part of our partnership to help save lives. You may not be able to go out in the street, you may not be able to come here to the show, but you can send your donation that helps us save lives.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.